Hi guys, welcome back to Lamood's channel, and today this is our inspiration for the look we're trying to recreate. As you can see, I've already sectioned my hair and I'm ready to get straight into dyeing it. I've never attempted this look before, so there was a bit of trial and error, but we got there in the end, and I'll show you exactly what I mean as we go through this video. So here we're going in with a darker purple. I will show you the exact colour I used in a second, but we're just brushing through the dye onto the base of the hair and bringing it down to where our stopping point is going to be. We want to make an ombre kind of colour to blend into a more pastel-y lilac kind of colour. And here I'm going to show you the exact colour that I used for the top half. So anyway, we're going to keep brushing the dye colour into our section, and you really want to rub it in and make sure the colour gets on each and every strand. So we're going to keep going in and parting in between the hair to make sure there are no blonde bits and everything is covered in that purple dye. Now, while I've got this shade of purple out, I'm going to try and do all the sections I can do with it just to kind of get it out the way. So here I am just doing the bottom section of the hair that I wanted to dye this purple. Here I'm just going through every strand of hair, and what I didn't mention is to use a comb after you've brushed on the dye, just to comb it through and make sure the colour is evenly distributed throughout the hairs that you want to cover. In the next clip, I tested the colour mix I made, and it ended up to be a bit more pinky than I wanted. So I wanted it to have more of a purpley hint to it. So this is where I was talking earlier about trial and error. I just tested it on a strand of hair, and this is what came out of that. So I did another colour mix with a hint more of purple, and it came out perfectly. So after doing this, I did a dip dye for the ends of that top piece I did earlier instead of painting it on, purely because I wanted the colour to be lighter and I can control the intensity of the colour it becomes in the dip dye. With painting it on, the dye sits there and the hair absorbs as much colour as you put on it. So I didn't want it to be as vibrant purple, and ended up doing a quick dip dye so it absorbs the light purple colour, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So here I'm just combing through the hair and combing where the two colours meet, just to make sure that colour blends smoothly and sort of ombres. And then we're going to move on to our biggest section, which has to be the same colour, and I ran out of the mix that I made initially. So what I ended up doing is taking a white piece of paper, and the colours that I mixed for the earlier section, I made a swatch on the white piece of paper, and when creating the new mixture I tried to match it to the swatch that I made on the paper, as you can see. Once I perfected the mixture, I added it to my hot water. And just a tip, for the colour that I used warm water as opposed to the usual boiling hot water, because the hotter the water, the faster the hair absorbs the colour, and because I was going for more of a softer look, I wanted the colour to absorb as slowly as possible so I could see where I wanted to stop dipping it. And here I'm just dip dyeing it, as you can see. Usually I have my workspace to do this, but we're currently in the process of moving, so my studio has been taken over by boxes, so we had to make a makeshift little workstation, and I had to be very careful not to get any dye on my carpet. So as you can see, I was dipping with the tips sort of hanging out of the bowl. That's because I had already gotten the color that I wanted from the tips, so I didn't want it to get any darker, if that makes sense. Then I made a concoction after I finished the dip dye, just to make sure the color came out a bit more pastel-y purple, the way I wanted it. So after we finish this part, we're going to give the unit a cold wash run through, and then we're going to see what the result was after we come back. Now that we're back, I forgot to do something, and I forgot to mention that I was supposed to spray the lace to stop the dye from seeping into the lace and changing its color. I completely forgot to do it, so the lace was a tiny bit purple, but this was the result. So after doing all of this, we're going to go ahead and blow dry it. But I was really happy with the end result of this. I'm so happy it came out the way it did. And I was really kind of proud of myself. Let's get a round of applause, please, for me. Thank you. So after blow drying it and packaging it up and sending it to the client, which I will be posting another video for, I wanted to remind you guys to shop at lamood.co.uk for amazing quality hair. If you want a customized unit, you can contact me on the website or any of our social media accounts. Anyway, here's the end result of the blow drying, and I'm going to show you what the client looks like after getting the hair done. She looks absolutely stunning. Shout out to the hairstylist for doing such a great job. Thank you guys so much for joining me once again. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me color this unit, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!